All right, let's just jump right in. We're not just talking about building cool AI demos anymore. Today, we're talking about how to architect real, enterprise-grade agentic AI systems on AWS. Systems that are actually built for scale, for security, and for real-world autonomy.
And, this question, it really hits the nail on the head. Look, anyone can spin up a cool demo, right? A proof of concept is one thing. But building something that can actually handle the real-world pressures and complexities of a big company, that's a whole different ballgame. So how do we get there?
Well, it all starts with the foundation. So where do most of us start? Usually, it's with a standard reference architecture from AWS. And honestly, it's a powerful blueprint and a fantastic place to begin.
So take a look. You can see how it's all laid out, right? You've got your layers for interaction, orchestration, the agent itself, memory, tools. It's super logical, it's clean, and it helps you get up and running fast. And this is a big but, this is really just chapter 1 of the story.
Now, don't get me wrong, this blueprint gets a ton of stuff right. I mean, it gives you that clean, layered structure. It puts orchestration right at the center, the brain of the whole operation, using things like AWS step functions. You get flexible compute options with Lambda and ECS, and it makes sure you're thinking about memory and tools from the get-go. So yeah, it's a solid foundation.
Okay, but here comes the reality check. Because the moment you try to take this from a developer sandbox into a real high-stakes enterprise environment, well, that's when you start to see the cracks appear. And this is exactly where so many promising proofs of concept just fall apart.
So, we've zeroed in on 6 big gaps. And let's be clear, these aren't just little nitpicks. These are make or break issues that can totally derail your project. We're talking security, cost, governance, the whole shebang. Let's dig in. Okay, so let's break this down. Think about it. Without a central control plane for your models, you have chaos. Without a really strong RAG strategy, that's retrieval-augmented generation, your AI is just going to make stuff up. No real governance, you're basically flying blind. And on top of that, you're missing a secure front door, you have no way to reproduce your results, and you have absolutely no strategy for controlling costs, which can just explode. These are absolute non-starters for any serious company.
So the big question is, how do we fix this? Simple. We upgrade the blueprint. We're going to go back to that solid foundation and start layering in the missing pieces, one by one, to turn it into something that's not just cool, but truly enterprise-grade.
All right, upgrade number 1. We absolutely have to have a central control plane for our models. This is where a service like Amazon Bedrock becomes a game changer. It gives you that single front door to all sorts of foundation models, Claude, Titan, you name it. And why does that matter? Because it means you're not locked into one vendor, and you get all this critical governance and security built right in.
Okay, so we've got our models under control. Now what about the data they're using? And that's upgrade number 2. We have to build an advanced RAG architecture. A basic RAG setup just isn't going to cut it. You need a dedicated pipeline to create your embeddings, a real purpose-built vector database like OpenSearch, and hybrid search that combines semantic and keyword. This is how you kill hallucinations and actually get accurate answers.
All right, so we've handled data access. Now let's talk about the agent's brain. This is upgrade number 3. You need a dedicated agent framework layer. It doesn't matter if it's LangChain, semantic kernel, or even Bedrock agents. This is the layer that does the heavy lifting. It handles the planning, the reasoning, the chaining of different tools together. This is what elevates your system from just a simple LLM call to an intelligent agent that can actually do things.
Okay, so we have this smart agent. Now, how do people actually use it without breaking things? You can't just have this thing running on a server somewhere. It means a proper, secure front door. And that's upgrade number 4, a real API and access layer. We're talking about using API Gateway for a secure, scalable entry point, and you lock it down with robust authentication and authorization using something like 𝐀𝐫𝐜𝐿 or IAM. Honestly, this part is just non-negotiable.
But here's the thing. Not all tasks are quick. Some complex jobs can take a while. So you can't just wait for an answer. You have to start thinking asynchronously. And this is our 5th upgrade. By using services like EventBridge, SQS, and step functions, you can build these amazing event-driven workflows. They handle those long-running processes beautifully in a decoupled way. The result? Your system becomes way more resilient and can scale like crazy.
So you've got this powerful agent that can do all these complex tasks. It needs some rules, right? Some guardrails. And that's upgrade 6, AI governance and security. This can't be an afterthought. It has to be baked in from the start. Tools like Bedrock guardrails are perfect for this. They let you enforce safety policies right at the model level. You combine that with fine-grained data control from IAM and lake formation, and suddenly you have a system that your business can actually trust.
Okay, you've set the rules, but how do you know what's going on under the hood? Your standard infrastructure monitoring? That's not going to cut it here. AI systems are a different beast. So upgrade number 7 is all about observability, specifically for AI. We're talking about custom tracing, so you can see every single prompt and response. You need to be monitoring latency, token usage, and, this is a big one, cost. You have to know exactly what your agent is up to and how much it's costing you minute by minute.
All right, so you can see what the agent is doing in real time. That's great. But how do you manage changes and improvements over time? This is where we have to stop treating our AI stuff like a science project and start treating it like production software. And that brings us to Upgrade 8, MLOps or LLLOps. Using something like SageMaker pipelines for CI/CD is crucial. It means you're versioning your prompts, you're building automated tests to evaluate performance. It's all about making your system reliable, repeatable, and high quality.
And that brings us to our final upgrade. And for a lot of businesses, this might be the most important one of all. Let's talk about the money. Because let's be honest, AI costs can get out of hand fast. So our 9th upgrade is a dedicated cost optimization layer. This can be simple stuff that makes a huge difference. Caching responses so you don't ask the same question twice, routing simple queries to smaller, cheaper models, and keeping a close eye on token usage. This is what makes your AI project sustainable.
So when you take a step back and look at all 9 of these upgrades together, what have you actually done? You've done more than just build a better app. You're actually part of a massive paradigm shift in how we think about building systems.
I mean, we're fundamentally moving away from the old world of stateless, reactive, AI-powered applications. We're moving into a new world of building autonomous, decision-making AI systems. These things are context-aware, they're proactive, they act as intelligent agents. It's a whole new mindset. So really, it all boils down to this. That standard blueprint? It's a great place to start. But to build something that's truly enterprise-ready, you have to consciously and deliberately layer in those key pillars: rock-solid governance, really deep orchestration, and an intelligent, persistent memory.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about for your own projects. Are you going to go all in on AWS native services? Are you thinking more of a hybrid approach, maybe mixing and matching? Or are you a team that's building a completely custom framework from the ground up? There's no single right answer, but the right architecture for you is out there. And hopefully, now you have a much better blueprint for how to find it and how to build it.